in this wheel is agency folks like me. And the third one, of course, is the advertiser. Now, how many people from the advertiser segment here? Can I just have a show of hands? Okay. Thank you guys for coming. Agency folks in the audience? Okay, well balanced. And content owners, aggregators, mobile networks? Okay, great. So I still have a lot of hands which didn't go up. I'm not sure if you guys are in the right place. The bar opens at 6, not before 6. So in case you're in the wrong place. Anyhow, so what is happening in the ecosystem is, if you look at the 3 pillars in that in this cog wheel, there are conversations happening at different levels between mobile players and agencies like ours. And there is a big disconnect in that conversation as well. There's another big disconnect in the way we talk to our advertisers about mobile as agencies as well. So I'll be fairly critical about everyone in the ecosystem because it's not moving at the pace it should be. And the third one, of course, is when mobile operators talk directly to our advertisers, there's a big disconnect as well. And the disconnect lies primarily because on the left spectrum, the mobile players live on a very different planet. And I say this because their understanding of the marketing ecosystem is really, really poor. So they cannot understand brand connections with audiences which exist in different markets. The agencies are not great either. I'm not saying that we are doing anything right. We have our own fundamental issues. Yeah? And as I say, we are in the play safe domain. We do not like the emerging trends. We still like the television commercial, we still like the print ad. Third problem in the ecosystem. The advertisers are still very, very reliant on exposure-driven media. They do not want to look at anything in the digital space, even in the mobile space, which delivers anything beyond the advertising message on a device. Now let's look at the most important cog in this wheel. And I was showing my presentation to Vikas a couple of days back, and when I put up this slide, he innately just said, oh, so now you're going to talk about the mobile ad networks. They are not the most important cog in the wheel, unfortunately. It's the advertiser, because that's where the money is. Unless they invest and they believe in it, things will not move. Look at this chart here. It's very, very startling numbers. 79% of advertisers do not have websites which are designed for a mobile platform. It's really worrying. It's even more pertinent if you look at this slide, which looks at another dimension of data. Only 16% of handheld devices in the world are smartphones. So there is an entire blue sky which is not getting addressed, and anyone who's trying to use the web and browse your website is not able to connect and get a good enough experience. Fundamental issue. Why are you creating content which cannot be accessed by people? So time to relearn a bit and relearn the consumer side first. I call this concept the funnel to the fish concept, and it's something I believe in very, very deeply. Now this is the traditional purchase journey that consumers traversed in the earlier days, right? You had an exposure, you had an action, you had a reaction, you had a satisfaction going through. So people got exposed to advertising and everything stopped there. There was no connection, there was no measurement happening after that. But this has unfortunately changed into a fish. It's no longer linear, it's no longer brand controlled. It is far more non-linear, it's digital first, and it's multi-channel. So looking at all the touch points, you don't have to read the small font. I'm just saying that there are many more influences impacting that consumer journey in which the consumer is connecting with your brand. Now some of these examples are from people searching on their mobile phones. Some of these examples are people consuming YouTube videos. Some are from people calling your customer care, so on and so forth. So those are the green dots coming through. And look at the red zones as well. These are the zones where people are using the mobile as a first device to connect with a brand or respond to an advertising message. Now this is complex, agreed, but there are some simple mantras I would like to share with you, which have worked for us as Mindshare. As I said, we are not the most developed mobile marketing agency in the world, but we are getting there. We are trying to make an effort to establish this as the most common denominator in our marketing programs that we run for our clients. First mantra, please ensure that everything that you do in mobile, there are enough options, everything that you do in mobile maps to the consumer journey, your own consumer journey, and the way you look at it, of how your brand will connect with the consumer is most crucial. So across the awareness, interest, desire, action principles, look at different options which are available to you in the mobile ecosystem. It's just not about one simple ad appearing on the device. There is much more to offer in this space. The second one, of course, is around creative assets. And if you noticed, I specifically didn't put creative agencies in the ecosystem. And there is a reason for that. Because let them do what they do best in digital. Nothing. So let's look at other people who are developing content, other agencies, other partners who are developing content, and create something called a connections architecture. Now this is something we believe in very deeply in Mindshare, and it's about how brand will connect with a consumer through a content hub. So all advertising and marketing messages need to join together at one pivotal point. That one pivotal point needs to be defined. And it's very important that all the assets you create are mapped back to your paid, owned, and earned assets in the mobile spectrum as well. Third, very crucial, I'm a big believer in this, look at data, measurement, and metrics very seriously. It's currently a medium which is plagued by a black hole principle. The black hole principle, because none of either this side of the ecosystem or that side of the ecosystem, which is the advertisers and the agencies, are believing in bringing real metrics into the game. There are enough tools and tricks which can be used to measure impact of advertising and marketing using simple devices like Google Analytics and Omniture, etc. Please ensure that ad serving happens. I know it's a bit late in the game to talk about ad serving on mobile, but it's a mandate which needs to be passed on. That's where transparency will come in, that's where marketers will believe in the medium more and invest hopefully more. This is the way we define the mobile in our ecosystem, in our marketing messages. We clearly look at this as an always-on performance-based channel. It's a brand utility, it's way beyond advertising, it's just not a message. It offers much more to the user beyond the advertising message. Of course, there is the integration involved. It will not standalone deliver on any specific goal you are chasing. It will work really well in a cohesive manner with all other touch points you're creating on television, print, digital as well. Another key aspect which is opening up now, and I was reading about the regulation, that location-based targeting last week got opened in some markets in US. Now this has become more and more prevalent, and specifically for small and medium businesses and people whose businesses are very, very location focused. This will open a whole new diaspora to this medium pretty soon. And finally, interactivity and response can be added to static media. Static media to me is still television and print and outdoor. It's static because no one can talk to that media. So this device adds that interactivity element to all your static media. And finally, a very key mantra, please ensure you have dedicated people running this business. The digital guys, lots of the people at least we meet in the ecosystem are still grappling with display. Why are you adding another complexity to it? Search, they won't get for a long period of time. You add another mobile mix to it, they completely go crazy. Please ensure you have dedicated staff managing your mobile ambitions in your agency and in your company. This will be the single largest differentiator for successful businesses in the near future. On that high note of hiring and investing, I'll hand it over to Vikas.